Alright guys, so we finally uncover the truth about the Superior Avengers, and nothing is what it seems. There's deception around every corner, hidden agendas, fake identities, and twisted morals. This team can't even trust themselves. And just when you think it can't get any worse, we finally learn about this mysterious machine they're powering. And let's just say, it's not what you want to see. Even Dr. Doom's own son is keeping secrets now. And if this all falls apart, it's not just the team that's in danger, it's everybody. Welcome back to Keepin' It Comic, and today, we're diving into Superior Avengers, issue number 4. Now, in case you forgot, the last issue ended because Vision ended up putting a hole through Ghost's stomach. And this issue finally lets us see more about Ghost and her past. It starts off with a woman and a kid who says, "Mama, I'm scared. What's happening?" And you can see Ghost fully obliterating someone's head in front of these people. And she says, "Return to your cells or be dealt with." And the woman says, "Get behind me, baby. Don't look." Ghost says, "You, where do you think you're going with that brat?" And this woman responds, "You're a psychopath. You're all psychopaths." And Ghost responds, "And you are powerless too." And all of a sudden, we get a crazy image that reads, "The era of doom has ended, and now annihilation shall reign supreme." And this dude looks vicious in this form. But that's all it took for Ghost to get distracted. She's like, "That voice, like glass shattering behind my eyes." And just then, the woman jumps on top of her and takes off Ghost's respirator. And as Annihilation is breaking through this wall, you can see there's a conflict going on between Ghost and this woman, where she says, "I won't let anyone hurt you." And the kid says, "What are you doing, mama?" And we jump back to present time in Detroit, and Vision is still shook about this whole situation. He's like, "I did not intend to hurt her." Killmonger says, "Are these the stakes you wish to play by, Captain Marvel? Life or death?" And Vision says, "Wait, Ghost biometric readings? They present it as human, but they're artificial. This is a non-sentinel drone. And either I'm a Superior Avenger, or we all just realize at the same time, Ghost faked her own death." Dr. Octopus is like, "That stammering rat hacked my drones. No one touches my tech." Killmonger says, "Onslaught, finding Ghost just became our priority. Pull yourself together and end this." He responds, "If I must." And in front of all of them, he says, "Sit, stay, good Avengers." And Graviton, "Naughty one you are." And Malekith is still trying to kill Iron Man. He's like, "How soft and pink do you think this one is beneath his shell?" Killmonger says, "It's not sporting if he can't fight back, Malekith." And he says, "That's what makes it so exciting." Now, as they're taking off, Vision's like, "You have no right to call yourself Avengers." And I swear, Killmonger is so savage. She said, "You were right. We are the Superior Avengers. And if you come after us, I will have Onslaught give your flesh and blood teammates brain hemorrhages." Like, yo, what a crazy flex. So what's happening back at base? Kristoff's watching all this and he's like, "My God, Father is right. It's so easy to goad these moral crusaders into appearing to be aggressors." And Ghost walks up right behind him, grabs him, pulls him through the floor, and before they can fall, she gives him an all-might punch. Like, yo. Then she sticks her hand right through his heart and says, "Don't move." He says, "If you strike me down, the torments my father subjects you to will be rivaled only by," and she says, "I don't want you dead. I want your help." And she takes her mask off. And if you didn't notice, this is the person who was escaping with that kid. And she says, "The Superior Avengers aren't who you think they are. And I'm not who they think I am. My name is Ava Starr. The real Ghost was my jailer for most of a decade, until Doom's demise gave me a chance to kill her and escape." Kristoff says, "Doom's demise? I don't understand." She says, "Dr. Doom is dead in my era, Kristoff. Your time platform found a future where he clung to power at the world's expense. Eventually, the same acolytes he tasked with governing his kingdom betrayed him. These are your Superior Avengers." He says, "Is this some sort of power ploy? Subterfuge? to pit me against the rest of the team, or... And she says, do you need to verify my story with a psychic scan, a truth-telling spell, a vintage polygraph? I'm risking everything coming to you, Kristoff. Any of your Superior Avengers could kill me with minimal effort. The things I did to maintain my cover with them, the things they did while I stood by, I'll never live down. You need to know who you brought into your father's castle and into your bed. Killmonger holds her past close to her vest, but from what I can gather, she was one of the countless orphans created by Doom's regime. Something about her perseverance caught his eye, and she climbed the ranks by climbing over the bodies of anyone in front of her. She's as driven by revenge as I am, only much, much crueler. Dr. Octopus is the last heiress of one of the few royal families Doom didn't have completely wiped out. He encouraged her scientific aptitude, particularly her knack for human experimentation, and gifted her with a set of robotic arms he kept in his trophy room. She's a morally destitute nepo baby who sees the whole world as her petri dish. Malekith was never supposed to exist, but Dr. Doom couldn't pass up an opportunity for more carnage in the world. When Doom razzed Asgard and seized its magic for himself, the drained husk of All Black the Necrosword and Undred the All-Weapon called out for something to fill their voids. I have no idea if whatever possessed the resulting golem is actually the mad soul of Malekith or just thinks it is, but its bloodlust rivals all records of the Dark Elf in its prime. And the Second Krakoan Age was supposed to be a new renaissance for mutant society, not the death of its species. Onslaught is what emerged from the ashes, a psychic gestalt of mutant rage and pain, stained by the nihilism of knowing your existence was inevitable. There were rumors that Onslaught is the sole surviving personality of an Omega-level mutant who contained a legion of different world-ending powers within him. But only Dr. Doom knows the truth. All I know for certain, Onslaught is mutant death personified. Abomination is the true believer. He went along with Killmonger's coup, thinking it was all some bizarre test of faith from his god king. He was born to a sect of Doom's worshipping zealots, attempting to breed a race of perfect super soldiers for their idol. He wears an iron mask to hide his shame, that his face isn't scarred like Doom's own. I guess his makers nailed the brawn, but not the brains. The others keep him around because he's a useful idiot. And Ghost, the real one, was Doom's prison warden. She oversaw his negative zone gulags. She was beyond paranoid. I only know what I do about the others because of the files she kept in her suit's database. I was in prison when I was 14. That was bad enough. But once I had my son, enduring the cruelties became unbearable. The Ghost created a panopticon where she could savor every indignity we suffered. She made life hell for us. And I dreamed about repaying her that favor every night for more than a decade, until I finally got my chance to cave her head in. Kristoff says, my father can learn none of this. He would know that my time platform didn't function as intended, that his rule, and she interrupts. Kristoff, I hid among the Killmonger and the others for months. Do you think they came here without their own agenda? They could have easily sidestepped your little portal if they wanted to. You are a means to an end, and if you don't get out in front of their plan, they will stab you in the back like they did your father. He says, what is it that they want then? To kill my father here and now too? She responds, no, although they won't hesitate to murder him if he gets in their way. The Superior Avengers are collecting magical energy, all of it that they can get their hands on. They're building an arcane warhead. He says, but why? What do they need it for? And she responds, Doom took our era's magic with him when he died, and without the Sorcerer Supreme to keep the monsters at the gate, something much worse than Doom found its way in. And we get another flashback, and we see Annihilation spewing all these different insects out. And as she's putting on Ghost's suit, her son says, Mama? And she responds, stay close. I'll protect you, baby. Let me figure out how to. And it was too late. One of them creatures flew right into her son's mouth. Friggin' disgusting, by the way. And said, embrace Annihilation. And Ghost in current time says, I don't know if my son can be saved from the beast that took over his mind. I don't know if my future can be saved from the wave of annihilation. Even if the Superior Avengers do succeed in their plan, they'll tear our world apart, vying for power in the ruins. So all I know is that my best chance lies with the monster who created this atrocity in the first place. I need your father's help, Kristoff. I need Doom. He says, he'll know I failed. She responds, you'd put your pride above the entire world's fate? You don't have a choice, you entitled brat. Your lover made it clear to us. If they can't harvest enough magical energy without being detected, the Superior Avengers are prepared to rip this world into two to get what they need. Either you face your father like a man, or let Doom discover the truth when your Avengers have their knives in his back. Now, speaking of the Superior Avengers, Abomination's like, I have searched the entire complex, even the blessed bedchamber of Lord Doom's chosen heir, and can find no sign of Ghost. Killmonger says, we don't even know when she swapped in the drones or what she's covering up. We need to prepare for the worst. She may have sold us out to Doom. Onslaught says, loyalty to the Laverian? How gauche. Dr. Ock says, we have more immediate concern. The Scarlet Witch overcharged my arcane batteries. If I don't offload this energy, we could have a hex nukes detonating on my back in the next 10 minutes. Killmonger says, the ghost was the gateway to the negative zone. She says, please, you think I'd rely on third-party technology for something so mission critical? I said about duplicating her portal device on day one. Onslaught says, we've all established we trust one another much less further than we can throw one another. But what are we actually going to do about our spacious Spectre's potential turnabout if she runs to Daddy? Killmonger says, Onslaught, that bug creature that was driven into a frenzy by our presence here. Do you think you can find it, track its brainwaves? Onslaught responds, why Killmonger? What devious thoughts you are concocting? One might even say it's a personal grudge disguised as a plan. She responds, Annihilus as a random intrusion is a nuisance that the Superior Avengers can solve. Annihilus as a gun, aimed at the right target? That is an opportunity for us to justify ourselves. And what is their target? We see Okoye saying Princess Shuri, look, in the sky. And all of a sudden, you can see Annihilus sending all his troops into Wakanda. But just then on the TV screen, Abomination says, do not fear, people of Wakanda. Your pest problem is nothing before his glory. By divine luck, our sensors picked up the mess on Wakanda soil. The Superior Avengers are now standing by and ready to assist. You need only say the word, and the word is Doom. And oh man, this was a crazy read. But there's some things I really need you guys to chime in on. Is Ghost really trying to save the world, or just rewriting her past? What's Kristoff gonna do now that he knows the truth? And how long can he keep this secret from Doom himself? And is Wakanda about to get caught in the crossfire of a war that started in a whole nother timeline? You guys let me know in the comments. I need to hear your theories because this story hit a whole different level. Want to stay locked in? Everything's in the link tree down below. Hit the site, grab some merch, jump in the Discord, and don't sleep on the free month of Hulu for new members. That deal won't last forever. If you had fun with this video, drop a like so more folks can find it. And if you're new here, hit subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss a breakdown. And as always, thanks for kicking it with Keeping It Comic. I'll catch y'all on the next one.